necessary. All on our best behaviour this afternoon. We will get through this. We will get through this. I call the member for Kellyville.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. Mr Speaker, today I rise on behalf of the more than 22,000 residents who have signed this petition, residents frustrated by out-of-control planning growth and the lack of infrastructure investment by the Minns Labor government. This petition, Fight for a Fairer Hills Future, was initiated by the Hills Shire Council, and I acknowledge in the gallery the Mayor of the Hills Shire Council, Dr Michelle Byrne, Deputy Mayor Councillor Frank Damassi, the councillors of the Hills Shire. I also notice councillors from Blacktown Shire, and also the General Manager of the Hills Shire, Mr Michael Edgar. I also acknowledge the hundreds of people who are present here in the gallery today and in Parliament, and the many thousands listening on WebEx. Mr Speaker, both Blacktown and the Hills Shire have been the engine room of housing growth for more than 30 years, with both shires sharing the major road corridor of Old Windsor Road as their boundaries. Both shires have been productive partners of successive state governments when it comes to the delivery of hundreds of thousands of new homes and local infrastructure on behalf of our families and our communities. No one could arrogantly call residents or us, their representatives, NIMBYs, as these areas have done more than their fair share of the heavy lifting when it comes to housing delivery in New South Wales. Under the future growth as dictated by the Minns Labor government, the Hills will be forced to accept over 23,300 30-storey apartments and an increase in over 60,000 residents in just the next 5 years, without any proposed additional schools, parks and playing fields or important major road upgrades. This is just in the next 5 years. In total, the Hills will be forced to accept over 140,000 new residents by 2040.
Member for Camden.
Mr Speaker, if I go back to 2011 when our New South Wales Liberal government came to power, recognising the massive growth that was already occurring in the Hills and Blacktown area and following years of neglect by the previous Labor government, we built the world-class Sydney Metro system starting at Tullawong. We built North Connects and West Connects, linking our areas with the city CBD and the airport. Locally, we upgraded Showground Road, Memorial Drive, Windsor Road and Old Windsor Road intersections, built Schofields Road and South Street and Richmond Road and the Prospect Highway, to name but a few. We also built dozens of schools such as Bella Vista Primary School, North Kellyville Primary School, Tullawong Primary School, Samuel Gilbert Primary School, the Ponds High School, John Palmer Primary School, and we provided land at Caddy's
Order.
Creek.
Members on my right, you will have your chance.
We provided land at Caddy's Creek
Order.
for 8 playing fields and millions of dollars in grant funding for new parks and playing fields across our area. And we bought the land at Box Hill for the new schools, which this government is now taking credit for. But importantly, Mr Speaker, we also put $300 million into the 21-22 budget, commencing a new hospital at Rouse Hill. Mr Speaker, that is what a responsible government does. They don't take the lazy approach like the Minns Labor government and increase the height of apartments to 30 storeys, forcing thousands of children to be raised in an apartment block without a backyard. That's not creating great communities, Premier. It's sentencing families to a constrained life of overpopulation density without appropriate local services and educational facilities necessary for the well-being of themselves and their children. Our residents are visioning a rapidly looming infrastructure crisis being supercharged by an irresponsible Labor state government with no plans to solve it. Any fair-minded member of the Northwest community is entitled to ask what upgrades are planned to cater for the additional traffic on Windsor and Old Windsor roads when 60,000 new residents move in over the next 5 years. And importantly, what are the completion dates, not the broken promises date, which the Premier himself acknowledged yesterday is stock in trade for Labor governments.
Order.
Mr Speaker, what schools will be built in the Kellyville Bella Vista Todd precinct on behalf of the expected 30,000 new residents, and where are the parks and playing fields in this area to accommodate our children? In an area which is a nursery for talented young boys and girls who have gone on to represent our state and country, where are we going to provide the parks and playing fields to support thousands of young individuals as they grow? And is this government serious about demanding Hills rates be increased by 450% to fund essential infrastructure, as we learnt last week, which is absolutely absurd? We have, Mr. Speaker, had enough, and you'll hear more from my colleague very soon.
Thank you. I thank the Minister. I now call the member for Kellyville in reply to this petition debate.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I would like to acknowledge all of my members who partook in this particular debate, the member for Hawkesbury, the member for Castle Hill, the member for Riverstone, Blacktown, the denied member for Winston Hills, who represents a large portion of the Hills, and I acknowledge the contribution by the Minister. Mr. Speaker, we are not NIMBYs. We welcome providing new homes for families, but it must be planned, supported and sustainable. I don't think there is a person in this gallery or online that would deny the legacy that we left our area when we came to government and over 12 years and the infrastructure delivery. I don't need to stand here and go through that and tell you what that was again, because you see that, you visualise that, you use that just as I do. Every time I come to Parliament, you travel on a world-class public transport system of Sydney Metro. Our children had enough schools, they had playing fields. In the past 2.5 years, the increase in the Box Hill densities in that one suburb, which was a suburb completely designed by the New South Wales Planning Department, has gone from a suburb expected to be 26,000 and it will soon be home to 50,000 residents. Is it any wonder that those people are sitting in gridlock traffic, sometimes unable to even get out of their driveways? How then can you consider practically and in any sense of sustainable planning to put an additional 60,000 people over the next 5 years into the Hills Shire without one announcement of an additional piece of infrastructure? I ask the people in the gallery to consider everything you have heard today. Have you heard of one new school? Have you heard of one new rail line? Have you heard of a playing field? Have you heard as much as a bus shelter? There is no delivery of services, and this failed planning debacle is on the Minns Labor government.
I thank the member. Order.